As a Prairie CEO, how are you and your executive team proactively managing supply costs and supplier relationships during this trade war? Supply costs for resale or manufacturing are an obvious and significant issue for some companies, and we'll get into that in a minute. But every Canadian company will experience increased overhead costs as a result of Canadian tariffs. So every company should be watching pricing on their overhead supplies. Office furniture, office equipment, printers, copiers, computers, telephones, monitors, sign plates, whiteboards, and other office items from the US are subject to Canadian tariffs. Ensure that all members of your executive team have their team members keep an eye on prices of any general office or business products they purchase and pick lower priced alternatives from their retailers or switch suppliers as needed. For products, parts, or materials you source from the US for resale or manufacturing, for products, parts, or materials you source from the US for resale or manufacturing that have tariffs already imposed on them, find out what your suppliers are expecting in terms of price increases and when, and know what your contracts with suppliers say about price increases and which party will pay a tariff. In some cases, it may be possible to reduce or eliminate Canadian tariffs that have already been imposed or are imminent. You may be able to have a Canadian trade lawyer work with your US supplier to change the customs class the supplier's product falls into so that it won't be subject to tariffs. If the tariff on the US product is inevitable, looking for alternative suppliers where possible may be a wise strategy. While suppliers in other markets may be an option, consider alternative Canadian providers, given both the extra supply they may have while facing US tariffs on their products, as well as the growing Buy Canadian sentiment. Manage changes in suppliers carefully to ensure as seamless an experience as possible for customers and to maintain good relationships should you want to go back to these suppliers in the future. If it's not possible to change suppliers and the supplier confirms a price increase, as usual, have them put it in writing. Negotiate a locked in price, even for a short period, so there is some level of certainty for a time after which the situation can be reevaluated. Stay in touch with suppliers to understand how their business is doing and ideally their cash flow, such that you can be aware of any risks of them not being able to secure or produce the materials you need. You may want to check your supplier's creditworthiness to gauge their cash flow health. If tariffs have yet to hit your supplier's products, know what countries your suppliers buy from in order to be aware of potential risks. Then ask suppliers to forewarn you of price increases as much as possible. Finally, research alternative suppliers to have as a backup just in case things change with your suppliers. The key message here is be proactive. Your bottom line, customers, and employees will thank you for it. For other ways to navigate these challenging times with confidence, get the free Complete Trade War Success Guide for small to mid-sized companies below. And if you're a Prairie CEO who wants to grow a thriving company through these challenging times more quickly, more easily, and with less stress and headaches, please contact me via the Connect page. I hope you found this useful.